All right, Miles, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens football team that is hot right now. They're on a winning streak, and this offense, led by Lamar Jackson and some of those big guys up front, look unstoppable. And I know you got a story specifically about this offense that you want to take a deeper look into it. But before I hand it over to you to talk about this Ravens offense that's just been running over people, I want to hear from Ravens fans in the comment section below. We talk a lot about how this Ravens offense is physical, it's downhill. That usually comes down to the linemen. But we want to hear from you. Give us your favorite Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman of all time in the comment section. There's a lot of great ones, a lot of great tackles, a lot of great guards, a great center or two. Let us know in the comment section below the one guy you think really stood out and the big guys up front. But Miles, what do you have out of Baltimore?
Nick, this Ravens offense has been looking very good lately, very comfortable, and I think it's all a credit to one man. Ronnie Stanley is back after pretty much 2 years off, and he is back to form already, Nick. The highest pass blocking grade out of any tackle, frankly, any offensive lineman in the NFL right now, a 92.0 pass blocking grade. Everyone thought, man, this guy's been gone for years. He's battling injuries. He's going to come back and be a shell of himself, but he is just as good as where he left off, Nick. He's basically in the high, I think he's a 9. He might even be a point better than when he left off, Nick. He is back, and it is very noticeable when he is now on the field. He kind of got thrust into it due to injury. They were having him on a bit of a pitch count, but due to an injury, he got thrust back into full-time play. They saw that he could handle it. He's doing very, very well, and it is night and day when this guy is on the field. Lamar's not as pressured anymore. He has more time to do things. The running game is looking a little bit stronger because the passing game is opening up. I just think overall, having Ronnie Stanley back and having a solid offensive line, because guys like Ben Powers and Zeitler are doing well above expectation. Linderbaum looks really good as a rookie in the center position, and coupled with Moses on the other tackle, having a strong offensive line has been something that's very, very important for Baltimore throughout the past few years. So I think that this is pretty huge, Nick, especially now that we have so many injuries in the receiver position. The pass blocking has to be on point. We got to give Lamar time to gel with these younger receivers. So everything is coming up aces in the offensive line part of stuff, Nick. What do you think about Stanley's performance so far this year?
He's been playing at a very high level, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you talk about the injuries at the wide receiver position. We have Bateman going out for obviously the time that he's missed and will continue to miss. That's very limiting what you can do in the big play department. That means in order for the Ravens to score and maintain and control the line of scrimmage, control the football, they need to run the football well, and they need to not give up negative plays and stay in third manageable where Lamar Jackson can hit guys like Lackley or Andrews, Prochet, or some of these other second tier receivers on top of really nice tight ends, or run the football himself to keep the chains moving. And that's why Stanley is so important, because without a big play threat like Bateman, 2nd and 15, if you give up a sack, basically becomes insurmountable. It's just the reality of the way it is. And with Stanley, the last 3 weeks, this offense has been doing just fantastic with staying on the field, avoiding those negative plays. And we hear a lot about these days about how game control, time control, time of possession isn't really as important as it's used to. Well, for this Ravens offense, the way they play, the way they want to run the football, their injuries in the receiving game, time of possession is actually incredibly important for the Ravens. It's how they control the flow of the game, the tempo of the game, and wear teams down. And Miles, I'm going to walk you through these last 3 weeks. I think this is incredible. You don't see this in the NFL, this kind of consistency. So the Ravens against the Browns, one time of possession against the Browns, who are really good at time of possession, 34 minutes to 26 minutes. Against the Buccaneers, again, dominated time of possession, 38 minutes to 21 minutes. That's crazy. Against the New Orleans Saints last week, again, dominating the time of possession, 37 minutes to 23 minutes.
Wow.
So this is a Ravens team with Ronnie Stanley on the field. They can run the football. They avoid the negative plays, and they're able to extend drives and wear teams down. And we're seeing this in the fourth quarter of games. The Ravens scored they scored 10 points in the fourth quarter against the Saints. They scored 10 points in the fourth quarter against the Buccaneers. They scored 14 in the third quarter against the Buccaneers as they started wearing them down before even the fourth quarter in that case. So we're seeing the formula come through. They avoid the negative plays. They stay on the field. They convert third downs. And the second half, they just bury teams into the ground with that running game of Lamar Jackson and take control and win games. The formula there is Miles, and Ronnie Stanley is playing a huge part in it.
Yeah, Nick, and I think the important part is we talk about the wide receiver injuries here, okay? And we talk about those running game, but Kenyon Drake is the one running the ball. J.K. Dobbins is getting a touch-up
Great point.
knee surgery, and he should be back in a few weeks. Gus Edwards is back injured again, and he hopefully will be back some point this season. But Kenyon Drake is the one leading the charge, a guy that wasn't even on the team last year. He came in this year, and he's doing a very good job. But Nick, I think, like you said, all of this is accredited to improved offensive line play, improved cohesion, not having guys flip around all the time. Patrick McCary does great when he comes in, but I think people say when the line plays together and you have a set 5 guys, the cohesion is really important to play good as a unit. You can't keep switching guys in and out if you want really elite offensive line play. And I think with Stanley back, Nick, I'm going to throw this out there. I think this is comeback player of the year potential for Stanley written all over. I know offensive linemen don't really get many awards at all, but him coming back in such a high level of play, back to even better than he was before pretty much, I think this has his name written all over it. And if they don't even if he's not on the radar, it's actually a shame because he's done so good now that he's back.